All right, let's take a look at the highlights from Game 1. LeBron James and Tim Duncan. So much expected of both as this 67th NBA Finals began. Tim Duncan to Tony Parker. And DZ, you talked about this from Parker.
Well, we know Tony Parker, when he turns that corner, if it's the pick and roll off the catch and cut, we know that floater is one of his best shots.
Then LeBron James catching Tim Duncan on defense, drives on him, lays it up and in.
Did an excellent job sizing up Tim Duncan, back the basketball out, drove it, got an easy bucket, and Mike Miller stepping right into a three, 31-26 Heat.
Dwayne Wade finishing at the basket and hitting the deck, 44-38 Miami Heat in the second quarter. Then Tim Duncan getting it going in the second quarter. Duncan inside. Miami's lead is 4.
You see how much space Tony Parker creates by coming off that pick and worry about him. And, of course, Timmy says, yes, I have range.
And how big was this, Smitty?
This
right
was
before
huge.
the half?
Misdirection, only 0.8 left. You can see the San Antonio Spurs decoy on the other side. Tony Parker gets it to Tim Duncan, calmly knocks it down.
It is a 3-point lead for Miami at the break. Dwayne Wade driving baseline, makes the lay-in in the third, 54-49. And then Chris Bosh putting it on the floor, the spin and up and off glass.
Well, it looked like the Miami Heat was going to try to push this lead out to double figures, but once again, Spurs regroup, play some defense, and start getting quality shots as the hand goes to the rim over D. Wade. Smitty.
It's unreal. I mean, when you watch the Spurs basketball, watch the spacing. You know, they never have offensive guys crowding the paint so they get what they want. And Manu Ginobili in this third quarter, that's a huge three.
And that's a great sign for San Antonio, struggling shooting in these playoffs. And Manu knocking that one down. LeBron James, Ray Allen, the corner three.
Let it fly, money ball corner pocket.
3 for 4 from three-point range, 13 in the game for Allen. Fourth quarter, Gary Neal missing. Kawhi Leonard, the hand again.
Well, big-time follow-up. He had missed a couple threes in the corner, but didn't get down, kept playing the game. Big-time follow-up.
This is big
10
time.
and 10.
Ooh. You're talking about a one-on-one spin cycle. North Cole, good defense. But Tony Parker, I like how he comes out of that pearl move and gets all the way to the other side of the basket and lays it up.
81-78 San Antonio in front. Then more of Parker.
You know, one of the best.
Insane in the mid-range game, baby. That's my new line for Tony Parker.
And you're great. You talk about 3D. You talking about a guy can cross over right into his shot. Chris Bosh gets the basketball up there. There's LeBron James. We have the ball game. 85-81. Beautiful job by LeBron on the glass.
And here we go. LeBron James drives and dishes out to Allen. He is fouled by Danny Green.
And we were going back and forth. Was it a foul, not a foul? But for you people at home, he didn't allow Ray Allen to come down in his space. Not so much a foul in the arm, in the body.
And if you want someone at the line in crunch time, be hard-pressed to find somebody better than Ray Allen.
Sugar Ray.
Yes, indeed. These are splash, splash, splash.
88-86, so a 2-point lead, but this was the play of the game. Tony Parker had nowhere to go, hit the deck.
Curly Parker
kept
off
his
the glass.
And in. Did he make it? Did he make it?
Yes, he did, Vince.
Man.
I mean, this is just a will to get a shot up. Did not panic at all, and that's talking about experience. Tony Parker put this team on his back throughout the season and also in this play for the San Antonio Spurs, the biggest play of the game for the Spurs.
That one was the best defining video.
Yes.
If the shot was good. It was off his hand and in 92-88. And that turned out to be the final as San Antonio marches into Miami and stuns the Heat and this crowd at AAA with the victory in Game 1. Tony Parker had 21 and 6, Tim Duncan 20 and 14. Kawhi Leonard 10 and 10, very helpful in this game, and Manu Ginobili 13 off the bench. Meanwhile, LeBron James, the triple-double with 18, 18, and 10. And that's where we will take you to break. Coming up, much more on Game Time. All the principals involved, including LeBron James, as his team coming up short at home. Let's go back to the fourth quarter. And for Miami, shooting 28%, 16 points in the fourth quarter, both playoff lows. And Smitty, he talked about, Coach Spoelstra, all the poor possessions there, just not being able to convert. The Spurs had a lot to do with that, obviously.
Yes, Vince. I think when you look at that fourth quarter, you know, the Miami Heat settled for a lot of jump shots. Reason why the San Antonio Spurs packed it in. LeBron James on the post. They kept bodies in it. He tried to drive the basketball, forced the issue a little bit. Hands, guys coming at him. You look at the Miami Heat fourth quarter, they usually get out and run. Usually they get some second chance points. Usually they get some fast break points. They did not get that. They didn't knock down threes. They had nowhere to go offensively, and they don't have really a post-up player when the pace slows down. I think the pace of the game was to the Spurs' liking. It's going to be ugly, basketball. We go slow it down. And then the Spurs, they just hang in there. And at the end, they usually execute better than teams, and they executed much better than Miami Heat in the fourth quarter.
How'd you see this fourth quarter?
The Spurs taking care of the basketball. To all those things Smitty said, it's hard to get your fast break going when the other team's executing or not turning the ball over. And that's one of the things in the Indiana series that Miami was able to get back in ball games because Indiana turned the ball over. The Spurs took care of the basketball. And the other, will they put LeBron in the post a little bit more in game 2? I thought in game 1 he did it a little bit, then got away from it. Only got to the free throw line 4 times. That lets me know he's not in attack mode enough, attacking that defense, putting more pressure on them, getting those guys in foul trouble.
That was my next question. LeBron had his third finals triple-double in this game, but go a little deeper in those numbers, and particularly the free throws, because Miami as a team didn't have that many free throws. They only shot 17 free throws as a team. LeBron was 3 of 4. So much of what they do is predicated on getting them and winning that free throw battle.
Vince, unfortunately, we have a guy that had 18 points and 18 rebounds and 10 assists, and he has to do more.
Yes.
And that's unfortunately what's going on with the Miami Heat. Yeah. I mean, when you start to talk about the rebound, it's been phenomenal. Him sharing the basketball is phenomenal, but they needed him to score at least 25 to 27 points to have a real chance to win this game. How can he do that? I think Eric Spoelstra is going to have to move him around to maybe that power forward position where they can have a lot of small ball and get out and run with him at that 4.
And I think he did an excellent job because coming out of the Indiana series, knowing he had to rebound more. Going against Duncan and Splitter, those guys rebound the ball very well, so you take your hat off to that. But with not having a guy you can just throw the ball in the post and go get you a quality shot every possession, LeBron needs to score more points. I'm sure they'll address that in practice tomorrow. When he does that, that opens up the shooters now because now you have to double team him, worry about him more. Very similar to Tony Parker. Every time he drove to the lane, defense shrunk, wide open three-point shooters.
Were you surprised that San Antonio wasn't more rusty, or do you feel like they're the kind of team that would adapt to a situation of being off 9 days and being ready for this play?
And Smitty knows this. Being around Coach Popovich, he's going to prepare you for the situation. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit of rust because you're going to have 9 days off, but I didn't think it would take long. Just like after that first turnover, they regrouped, got back to playing San Antonio basketball. So you saw the focus. I was concerned about the intensity. After 2 or 3 minutes, that intensity came back.
You know, offensively, they were a little bit rusty. Like Tim Duncan came out 0 for 5, missing some of those chippy elbow jump shots. But defensively, they were solid. I think they said, hey, we can just hang in there on our defensive end and give Tim Duncan a lot of credit. That second quarter, he took over the basketball game. He looked rusty at the beginning, but the big fella, the big fundamental got it going on.
He did, and while he missed his shots, he was rebounding early on for San Antonio. So he's helping his team, even though he wasn't hitting.
You know what,
shots.
Vince, what was impressive is he started off with 2 fouls. Being able to sit, watch this game, 0 for 5, that would have bothered some other players. I'm in foul trouble. I'm the only really big that can score the basketball. But when he got in, because he has those other guys, Tony and Manu, that can hold the fort until he gets back in the game.